Alright, just want to make a quick video talking about something that I don't think most people realize about magic, specifically magic shown online. Once you get into magic, you start to realize it more. Magic becomes a lot of arts and crafts. And I kind of want to go into one trick I've done and a gimmick I made for it. And so here's the clip of the video. And so for this, tried a bunch of things. The original plan would be I would be wearing a jacket or whatever, and I could just do it front and just let the card go, like from here to here, and it'd be dropped and then the ball falls, and I'd have a front on view, but I'd be wearing a jacket, and I'll explain kind of why in a little bit. It didn't quite work that way with at least the stuff I had, or the way I was going about it. Not to say it wouldn't work, it's just I didn't quite have enough luck with it. But so I'm gonna be giving away how this trick works, just to kind of prove a point. But you can't really do this in person unless you did have it that front way. But so I have this gimmick. So the card, it's got a safety pin in it right there with a rubber band attached, and at the other end is another safety pin. So the way I did it was I had this attached to my back, like way back here, and I stretched the rubber band and held it in the front, and standing on the side was the way I held it. So the rubber band was along my arm here with the card, and I kind of held on the safety pin, that way it didn't rip, and it was just stretched all the way to my back. So when I let it go, it snapped back all the way there, and the tighter it is, the faster it's going to snap back. You could do this again with a jacket. If I was wearing a jacket and it was tied to my back, I could maybe get it to, when I let go, it'd go into my jacket so you couldn't see and I'd finish clean or whatever. And that's the way you could probably do it in person, as long as you had a little bit of sound cover, because you are going to have sound there. But and then in doing that, I had the little ball right behind it, and when I let go of the card and the ball, I'll use this coin for example, pretend that's the ball. When I let it go, I can catch it with the other hand, and the card would shoot back and disappear. So I find this really interesting. One, I do really like sleight of hand magic. It's enjoyable to practice and refine a craft, and the people that do it for a living in that, in order to avoid gimmicks, people like Jeremy Griffith, for example, I have a lot of respect for, because it's the dedication, the time it takes to put in. But I do agree with what Lloyd Barnes said. I do think gimmicks will always look better, but I don't like perform with them in person. I do enjoy them, and this whole arts and crafts thing, it's fun to come up with these ideas and be creative in that sense, and come up with different ways to make things work for a camera. But I would never do any of these in person, because I used to a lot, especially when I was in high school. I'd either do that or I'd do stacked decks. Every trick was a stacked deck. So I'd be walking around with 10 different decks in my pockets because they were all stacked different or whatever. But if I didn't have all that set up or whatever, and I found it was a little weird. So for example, if I was using gimmicks, I'd do my one gimmick trick, and someone said, hey, do another. I can't even do that one because I have to reset it, and I'd have to turn around, reset it, and then come back or whatever. And same with the stack decks. If I do a trick, it's amazing. Oh, I gotta put this deck away and pull this deck out. All right, then I put this one away and pull the next one out. And there's not really justification for that type of thing. So that's why performing, I do stick to the more organic magic. Maybe I'll do a stack that I start with a stack and I'll go into other stuff that's more impromptu, or a stack that's really easy to get into right in front of them. Other justifications, like, oh, let me make sure this deck's got no jokers and I'm organizing the deck, or whatever it may be. Stuff like that I will do, but try to keep it more organic when I perform in person. But the inverse of that, some organic stuff that's done in person, you can't do over a camera. One, you either need a spectator's interaction, or everything's burnable in a video. You can sit and watch, like card to mouth. The moments that you show the spectator the card or whatever, and then you slide it into the deck while they're focused here, you're supposed to put it in your mouth. You can't do that on video. Everything can be watched. Which, I mean, you can do it, but it's not as fooling, because they can just rewind and watch it again. So everything has to be examinable in video. And while I do like that, it does make certain things a little more difficult. Also, longer tricks, for example, people's attention spans aren't all as they used to be. Nothing wrong with that per se, but certain tricks don't work as well. Even in person, I found that people lose enjoyment. Or like D-lights, for example. I'd never perform D-lights in person unless I'm doing it for like little kids or something, but they're still enjoyable. It's a for magic I do enjoy. I like both sides, the duality of it. Another one I made, so I saw this trick and I know it's a gimmick thing, I just don't know how it quite works, where, and I'll leave a video for it in a link down below where you can actually get the real one, where you have a playing card, you drop it and become a watch. And I kind of made that, not quite with a watch, but I'll go over this. This took me a while, but so I have the playing card, and then I drop it, it becomes like a bracelet. And yeah, I got full of the card, and there's magnets, how it closes when you drop it and everything, and I taped it all together and tried to hide it behind the thing, so when it's straight like this, you don't see it, and all that stuff. And it was a fun process to come up with and problem solve, and trying all the different things that did or didn't work or whatever and stuff to make it look like a good trick. But yeah, that's something I enjoy, both aspects of it. The being creative sleight of hand, to being able to fool people in that sense, but also the virtual aspect and be able to do stuff online or through FaceTime or whatever, and just the difference between those. And yeah, just something that's fun, interesting to kind of talk about, and I figured most people weren't aware of that, weren't magicians already. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What other types of stuff you want me to talk about, or videos you want to see. If you like this, if you didn't like it, whatever. Like if you like it, like if you didn't like it. Either way, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And hasta luego, Diego.